Hello everyone, today is October the 3rd. So on October the 2nd, Poshmark announced that they're going to change the fee structure for both sellers and buyers on the platform. So the announcement was made on October the 2nd. Um, there wasn't a lot of information, but this is what I found, and when this new fee structure is active today, I was able to get more information, and using this information, I came up with some Excel calculations to illustrate what it means in terms of fees for both the buyers and sellers. Um, and because as a active Poshmark user, changing to this new fee structure can be confusing to everyone, but hopefully through this video, we can kind of understand how the math works on the fees. And I also want to cover on why Poshmark might be doing this, hinting it's for financial reasons. So this is, I put everything in Microsoft Excel here. Hopefully it's easy to follow for everyone. So this is the new fee structure. So for context, before today, how fees are assessed on Poshmark is essentially very simple, like 20% on the listed price of an item. So for example, if something is listed as $10, Poshmark, or any amount of money, there generally Poshmark is taking 20% off of the listed price from the seller. So if a seller is selling a t-shirt for $10 that is sold, the seller would be paying $2 fees to Poshmark, and the buyers paid nothing. So that was very simple. It's actually one of the reasons why many people like Poshmark, because it's very easy to understand versus like other platforms like eBay and Mercari. So it's very simple. Again, it's just 20% on the listed price that's paid by the seller. So we have the new fee structure here, effective 10/3/2024. So this is where it gets interesting. So now the fee can change, or the percentage of the fee can change depending on the price range. So let me walk through the new fee structure. So if an item has a listed price of under 15, the seller would pay $1. So this would be the fixed fee for this price range, plus a 5.99% times the order total. And the order total now, instead of just against the listed price, the order total now is the item price or bundle price plus shipping that's paid by the buyer, and plus applicable taxes, and that's generally sales tax paid by the buyer. So you have this different price range for the listed price, and then these are the fees. And interestingly, buyers and sellers would pay the same fee. So again, the fees now. So this is the irony part. Like Poshmark is saying, yeah, making the fees more simple and transparent, but actually it's more complicated, right? From that 20% flat on the listed price before today, now it's based on this structure. So let's go over some of the math to illustrate, how much fees Poshmark is charging, and how much the fees each of the buyer and seller are paying. So I have created two tabs here because the other item that's changing also is, I think for Poshmark ambassadors, they are rolling out this special where the shipping to the buyers would be $5.95 through the end of the year. I'm not sure if this is going to change, or there will be a subscription fee paid by the seller to maintain this like lower shipping fee. But then if you're not a ambassador, the shipping that Poshmark charges is 7.97. So I created these two tabs here, and I believe most sellers are probably not Posh ambassador. So we can go over this example, but we can go over the next one also. So this is a very simple Excel illustration. I just basically create this table here, and then I have all this information at the top. So these are the inputs that we learned on the first tab here. And I just enter them in, and I'll go over them one by one. So this is the shipping option one. So on this page, will all be all the formulas will be using this value here. And for this illustration purpose, we also need to enter a sales tax. So I entered sales tax of 7.75. That's my local sales tax. So we'll just use this as an example. And then, so these are the fees that I explained earlier. So we have a fixed fee of $1 if the listed price is under 15, $2 for a listed price of under 50, and anything 50 and above, that's $3. And finally, you have a percentage fee of 5.99%. So let me walk through from left to right the table here. So I just created a bunch of rows to kind of like show all the potential listed price at $1 increment from $1 to $1,000, and we'll go down later. And as mentioned, shipping is $7.97. And then you can, if you want to follow on the formulas at the top, maybe to recreate this yourself, you can just follow the formulas I have on the top. But I'll kind of go into detail of some of the cells here, right? So shipping is 7.97. Buyer's tax, it's pretty simple, is your listed price times your sales tax. So most states, they don't charge sales tax against shipping, it's just only onto the listed price. So and so yeah, this is just a simple sales tax times the listed price there. So this is the buyer's fixed fee, because the $1 listed price here is under 15, so it's $1, and then we go down to starting from $15 here, the listed price becomes $2. The fixed fee becomes $2. And then this is the percentage, and as I shown earlier, the percentage is applied to the order total, which consists of the item or bundle price plus shipping cost and plus applicable tax. So if you look at the formula here, is this, times the sum of these three items, right? So this is the buyer's fee. So this would be what the buyer will be paying in total. So these two added together, pretty simple. So what does that mean for the buyer? So this would be the buyer's total. They're paying listed price plus shipping plus the sales tax plus the sum of these two, right? So this is the total the buyer will be paying at each price here. And because we already know the seller's fee is the same as the buyer's fee, so this formula is just equal this column. So if you're a seller, your proceed will now be, well, it's the same formula, the listed price minus the seller's fee total, although the fee now, the formula is different than the 20% before. But this sales proceed is always the listed price minus the seller's fee. So for this, it's pretty simple. And then here's where it gets interesting. So now you can kind of figure out how much total fees are paid to Poshmark. So because now buyers and sellers are paying the fees equally, so this is the sum of the two, right? So this all added together. And then this column is how much is the total fees paid to Poshmark as a percentage of the listed price. Now remember, this used to be a flat 20%, right? But as you can see, the percentages here now are so much higher. And some of them are even more than 100%. So this, I would say, wasn't possible. Like, no, like Poshmark was never able to charge more than charge in terms of fees more than the listed price. So for example, this is an extreme example, but just for illustration purpose. So if you sold an item of $3, buyers would pay 1.67 in fees and sellers paying the same. The total is 3.34. And this is more than the listed price, right? So effectively, Poshmark is charging more in fees more than the listed price. That's crazy. But even then, at like prices at slightly higher prices, the fees are still very high, right? So again, Poshmark used to charge 20% flat here, like the total fees they collect as a percentage of listed price was a flat 20%. Now, as you can see, these are like so much higher. And just to kind of verify my calculation, I want to just pull up some of the listing that I have, and that I have a screenshot on my phone. So here is a Patagonia shirt that's listed for $30, you can see, and then the same shipping. So in here, there's this buyer protection fee. If you click into there, it breaks it down, the tax and the fee for you. So let's look at the $30 row here, right? So at $30, I will be paying 2.33 in taxes, and that's the taxes here. And then the buyer is also paying 4.41. So this is the buyer fee. It's called a buyer protection fee, but math is the same, 4.41. And seller is paying that too, right? And going to the next example. So this is a jacket that is listed as $80. And let's go down to $80 here. Oops. Yep. So tax is 6.2. We have 6.2 here. And then buyer's fee total is 8.64. So this is 8.64. Sorry, yeah, 8.64. And going to the next example, hang on. Okay, so this is another example. This boots is $120. We go here at 120, where is it? 120 here. So at $120 listed price, my sales tax is 9.3. And then my buyer's fee is 11.22. So this kind of shows that my calculation is correct, but the punchline here is Poshmark is collecting way more fees than ever before. But this is only true but as you can see, because these are essentially kind of like 6%. Sorry, yeah. 6% times 2, 12% plus some fixed costs. So these fees are gonna start high, but it's gonna come down. It's a function of price. So it's gonna come down as price increases, because now the fixed fee is gonna be a smaller percentage of your listed price, and that's why as you go higher in price, these total fees as a percentage of the listed price paid to Poshmark will shrink. And it will shrink gradually, but it's gonna be floor at about 13%, because these times 2 is 12, and then you're paying 12 with the added sales tax and shipping. So you can see at at $1,000, this is the percentage of fees per the listed price Poshmark is collecting. So Poshmark is only collecting a higher fee for, let's go to the 20% mark, see what is the break even, right? So here's 20%. So for anything listed as under $98, Poshmark is collecting higher fees than before. So I suspect this is maybe the primary reason they're doing this, because the other point I want to point out is on Poshmark, it's more like a fashion platform. So people are buying and selling clothes. So you can think of it as, hey, if I'm Poshmark and if I want to increase my, my bottom line, right? If I am the executive, I would think of, hey, what is the average price of items that we sell on Poshmark, and then we can kind of make decision based off of that. So I don't have any information of the average price of clothes sold on Poshmark, but eBay does have that function now. So you go to eBay app. So I just type in clothes on eBay, and then eBay shows in the last 90 days, the average sold price is $34. So let's take this as like an example, like a data point. So I have $34 here. So if the average sold price of all the clothes in the past 90 days is $34, I will be making my decision around this price, right? If I want to kind of like effectively increase my bottom line. So here, $34, and so let's pretend that on average, clothes are sold for $34, right? And so at this range, Poshmark is effectively collecting about 28%, right? 28% versus 20%. That is way more than they used to collect. So you take 28 divided by 20. So how much their bottom line is going to increase by about 40%. So that is quite a smart move by Poshmark. And let's take another example. So this is for clothes, right? And then on eBay, if you type in shoes, it says on average in the past 90 days, the average sold price for shoes is $45. And let's pretend that's the average price too on Poshmark just for this example. So let's go to 45 here. So Poshmark is collecting 24% in total against the listed price, right? So very easy. You take 24 divided by 20, 120. So that's 20% higher. So for shoes, based on this example, the fees they collect is going up by 20%. So I would imagine most of the used clothes, like I think Poshmark's mostly are goods are sold are used clothes. They are usually under $100 in transaction price, and listed price. And effectively, if that's true, like Poshmark would be collecting fees that they higher than what they used to collect. So I think this is a financial move because fees now are paid by both buyers and sellers. But I want to make another point. The fees for the seller is going down after for prices higher than $11, the fees paid by the seller used to be 20% here and going up. So for any listed price that's higher than 11, the seller fees as a percentage of listed price is going down. So yeah, it's definitely a better case for the sellers. The sellers are paying lower fees to Poshmark, but because buyers are also now paying the same fee, right? And and it's gonna be quite difficult for the buyers now. They're gonna get a sticker shock. So for example, if I'm buying a $20 T-shirt, I used to have to pay like $29, 52 cents, right? But now there's an additional 3.77 fee added to it. So now I'm gonna have to pay $33. So at this price range, you can think of there is an additional 19% sales tax. Just it's not sales tax paid to the state, but it is kind of like that concept. You're now paying like a 19% more in some sort of taxes, and that tax goes to Poshmark, to the buyer, and now buyers paying more. So yeah, it's better for the seller, but buyers are shouldering some of the burden too. So what would that mean for the buyers? I think that would discourage buyers. So more buyers are gonna see these extra fees and they may not like purchase the item. So that is what a lot of sellers are saying right now, and they are urging Poshmark to revert this policy. I think that's all what I want to cover. This one is the other lower fee shipping fee if you're a Poshmark ambassador as a seller, but the message is the same. You can see that this column, I'm sorry, so this column, Poshmark is still collecting like way higher than before for essentially prices under $100. But yeah, if in my extreme example, it go down to all of this, yeah, Poshmark does collect lower fees, but I would imagine most of the used clothes or used shoes are all under $100. And as I illustrated earlier, the average price, Poshmark, I think effectively are potentially gonna collect way more. I think that might be the case. So yeah, thanks for watching. I just want to kind of like go over this simple math illustration. Hopefully this is clear, and let me know down in the comments if you have any questions. Thanks.